And we are back after far, far too long away from my taste. And also remember realizing that I didn't have my screen up on your dungeon. So I should do that while we do a quick recap. Does anybody actually remember what we were doing so long ago?
We were traveling through the jungle to get to a dungeon that might hold some information on what's going on.
And I kept getting bullied by shadow figures.
Okay, you had actually left the dungeon a little ways back. The jungle, I mean. You had actually entered a more desert region by the time you got there. Because you came across what. Oh, that's the wrong one. Don't look at that, guys. That's the wrong one. Don't look at that. Quit looking at things.
I did have to leave early, though, so I don't remember.
Yes. Okay, so this is how I remember it anyway.
Yeah.
You had come across what I had deemed the Village of the Returned, which were a group of undead who seemed to only have the barest remnants of their former lives about them and walk around in gold mask. And when somebody got really curious as to why they were being ignored by people in gold mask and tried to remove said gold mask, there was some incidents, and then the dungeon began, and yes, you were in the dungeon. There was a very, very tough fight, and you all took a long rest, which means everyone has the opportunity to, if you haven't already done so, you can use your hit dice pool to refresh your health, and if you regain anything on a short rest, you regain it. And you are in the second level of the Dead Dungeon of Deadly Death. What do you wish to do?
Sorry, you said we took a short rest or a long rest? I'm sorry.
Short rest. You only took 1 hour rest.
I'm gonna roll 78 because my health is about half.
Okay.
So
let me just.
That'll be plus 21, so I'll be 48 hit points.
I've got Song of Rest as well, so.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh.
Kyle, I'm going to try turning your volume up just a little bit more. You're still a little low on my end.
It might be because I need to. How's that going?
That's a little better, yeah.
Okay, good.
Cool. Okay. So, yes, you're inside of Ish's dimensional room. His little pocket dimension that he can create with a spell. The doorway will be closing within the next few minutes, so you need to wrap up anything you wanted to do.
Need to finish healing.
And I need to bring up my notes to know where you are.
Oh, and also, my strength.
Oh,
yes, your strength did return back to normal after the short rest.
Okay.
Thank you for reminding me.
How many times did it go down? I forget.
It didn't go down enough to kill you, but it returns back to whatever its standard was. I didn't keep track of how far you went down, but unless you hit 0, you didn't die. And
no, I just didn't know if my strength. How many points?
I don't remember. You were supposed to have kept track of that, in game. But it's back to normal now. You're fine. You're still probably a bit of a weakling, but that was natural. You're back to wherever you were.
I can remember. Oh, I didn't mean to do whatever I did.
I think that's like the catchphrase of this game, though. I didn't mean to do whatever I just did. I say it, you guys say it.
That's true. Or I tend to say, I'm going to do something real stupid. That's also something.
Most of the time, we think what we're doing is smart, and at the moment it seems smart.
I don't even have to say anything. I just do it.
Yes, that is usually what happens. Carrie just does things, and I'm like, holy crap! I didn't know that shouldn't be possible, but somehow I'm allowing it.
The balls are not returned are a testament to that fact.
That was standard for her. I mean, she thinks I'm trapping her when I give her these temptations, and I guess in a way at this point I am because I know if I put the shiny thing, she's going to try to take the shiny thing. And then it's like, Andy, you were horrible for doing that. I'm like, oh, look, I put the mousetrap out there. It's your fault if you stick your hand in. By the way, don't ever do that. As a kid, I put my hand into a bear trap. I forget which one.
Oh, okay. That's way.
Yeah, all my joints do this. It's not because of the trap, although I did that. But yes, all of my joints do this, and that's why when I used to take judo, and when they saw that um, people would put me in an arm bar and it would bend this way, and I didn't scream, they like, don't ever. You're not allowed to spar. You're not allowed to practice joint locks with anyone ever again. And I was like, well, why? Because your arm's about less than an inch away from breaking and you can't feel it. And you're like, oh, okay. So,
Yeah,
One thing
I literally had a friend in high school when I did diving who uh, one of her forearm bones just like popped off on command, and it was just like at the time it was like the grossest thing, and
yeah.
That ain't normal.
I think
Okay.
about the closest thing I have to that, Andy, is that my thumbs, I can bend them this far without touching them,
Yeah. That's
which
impressive.
freaks out my occupational therapist.
Oh yeah. My arm turns like this and this is natural for me. It's kind of hard to see on camera. But anyway, one day I was just leaning, and my arm does this when I lean. I was 15 before I realized this wasn't normal because people would see it like, what the hell what's happening? Are you okay? I'm like, what? And like, we can't do that. And I was like, really? What's wrong with you? Like, no, just what's wrong with you? Okay, so rather than get into how my body is not factory standard and that we're all freaks in our own special way, let's get back to the dungeon where there are other freaks awaiting
Yeah.
you.
All right. I wrapped up my healing and recuperated my spell slots, and I'm just standing essentially at the doorway. By the way, the place just looks like an interior, like jungle ruins, literally. It has a little bit of my past in it.
Oh, okay.
It
You're
looks
talking
pretty much
about your
from
room.
where
I
we
thought you
came
were
from.
talking about the map. Okay, sorry. Yeah. Oh,
No,
cool.
not this room.
Okay, so
The
your
same
pocket
plan I
dimension
created.
is
Yeah.
cool. I like that.
Oh, this is brick. This is a brick room. Just what you see behind me is all it is.
No, I
And I'm
mean
just standing in
your
the way.
pocket dimension room is
Yeah.
jungle themed. I like that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. City of Omo type thing.
Okay.
Uh,
So, but before
I'm just waiting by the doorway.
Yeah. So everyone can exit back into the room where you just defeated a bunch of metallic guardians.
Yeah, Michael's going to start heading towards the corridor. Just motion for everybody to follow me. And to follow him.
Okay.
With-
You can just go straight on to the next point because unless I tell you that there's some sort of thing blocking you, just tell me which way you're heading. There's no reason to do that slow walking bit.
Yeah,
I think
heading towards.
okay. Yes. So you do see that there. I guess everything is visible to you. Yeah, I didn't have fog of war on, did I?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Just.
I will roll that.
Yeah, that's fine because what you guys can see is fine. I meant to have some areas, concealed, but yes, you pass by and there's a room with a big shining gem over here. and a portcullis, and there is a crank to this particular portcullis.
Michael's going to head over towards the crank and start working on that.
Okay. All right.
What
So
is this?
Yeah, it seems very curious to me. So
this.
I'm gonna eye the rest of the room before the jam because
Okay, give me a
the
perception
gold.
check.
Ditto.
Okay, give me the
First roll of the night.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crap.
Okay, you seem to be very fixated on either you can't take your eyes off the gem or you're trying to see everything at once and it's not working. Whereas Rihanna does see everything at once, and basically, let me double check my notes, but yeah, you don't see anything. I mean, there's a pedestal and there's a large, shining scepter with a glowing gem on the top of it.
Hey guys, let's see what this thing over here is before we open that.
Don't try to take it from the pedestal or in a dungeon.
Except they're in a gem on a pedestal alone in a room. I'm gonna go like 10 feet behind her, just to make sure.
Okay.
I just want to get a better look. Can I do
Seems ridiculously
investigation to check it out further?
Sure.
People do not leave things just visible to other people just because.
Okay. So, Rihanna, as you get closer and you take a look, you do see that this, gold scepter, very ornate, gem encrusted. You can imagine this thing is probably worth quite a bit, and naturally that seems to call to you because it is beautiful, and you also realize that it is on a pressure plate, and
That's what I was wondering.
yes, you're not 100% sure what the trap is, but this is clearly a trap.
Okay, so is there... Noticing that it's a pressure plate, is there any way that I would be any good at estimating how heavy that thing is for the weight that's keeping it from being triggered?
With that roll, you figure this thing is, roughly 5 to 10 pounds, and so I would say you have. That was a really good roll, so I'm going to tell you that you're pretty sure that someone fast enough could take it, or you can probably try to use your thieves' tools to, rig the mechanics to not break.
Okay.
I thought she was gonna Raiders of the Lost Ark this thing.
Oh, yes.
That's also a possibility. You can try to fool it.
I was gonna ask if there was any inscriptions around this.
No, there's. This was obviously just, it's just this, and there's no writing.
Just a trap. Okay.
So once she figures this all out, she looks over her shoulder at those guys because she knows that they're concerned. And I'll say, guys, I got this.
It
And
takes
I'm going
15
to...
steps back.
I'm giving you a plot point for that. That was the best decision I've heard you guys make in a while.
Shush.
Each has been around Rihanna long enough to know she's a hazard at this point.
Wait a minute, it hasn't been that long.
That's why. He's learning really
He
fast.
is very good at reading people.
Okay, so Andy, I'm going to first start with the thieves' tools and try to see if there's some way that I can, make the mechanical part of this, like, non-lethal anymore.
Okay, that would probably be. Let's make it investigation and add your proficiency for thieves' tools on top of that. Okay, you see several. You are able to pry off the first part, and you see a lot of gears, but you don't know which ones. Maybe some of them are dummies. Maybe if you hit one, the whole thing's going to fall down on you anyway.
Well,
So
shit.
that's why I'm being
I'm trying
nice
to
and
think.
give you the warning.
Proficiency with the thieves' tools. What do I add? I don't remember which
That
number
would be
that
your
is.
proficiency bonus. So
So there'll be +5 to that 8.
okay. Uh,
So that's a
with
13.
that, okay, with that, I'm still going to give you the choice. You can go ahead and stop now, or you can tell me that you're going to try to disable this. Now, there's no additional roll. I'm just going to let you have that choice, and I'll tell you what happens.
Or we could let the monk do it.
I'll look over at Michael because I see that he's hiding behind his shield, and I'll look back at it. Should be like, yeah, okay, you might be far enough back.
And I'm not phased. I'm not hiding behind anything. I'm just there standing waiting.
Okay, question for
I'm
you,
ready.
Ish. How far back are you standing? Are you where your icon is, or are you standing there next to it?
Yeah, I went back into the doorway.
Because last time I
I
think
was,
you were having trouble moving your icon, so I just wanted to
no,
check.
no,
Or
I'm right where I
Jonja.
want to be.
No, sorry,
I'm
I
at the
meant Jonja. I meant Jonja.
all right.
Yeah.
Jonja, are you standing in the room, or are you 20 feet back?
I didn't mean I can't move my character. That's not 20 feet back.
Okay, well, my point is, do you want to be in the room next to Rihanna trying to help, or are you going to
I'll be in
stand
the
backwards? Are you back?
I'll be in the doorway.
Okay, that's all I needed to know. Rihanna, you're there. Everyone's clear from what you can tell. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna attempt to disable it. And if
Okay.
shit goes sideways, I'm just gonna snatch that thing and run.
Okay.
No,
Now it was
you-
8 plus 5 for your proficiency. You said.
Yep.
Okay.
You have it in. The fan is across the room. You're about to chuck it at the fan.
Okay. So you reach in with your thieves tools and you're like, I'm fairly certain if I stop one gear, that's going to stop all the gears because that's how gears work. And you reach in with your tools and you're trying to dislodge them. Suddenly they jump and you start to spin and then they stop and you look up. There's a metallic net about 10 feet from falling on top of your head, but it stopped right before it hit you.
Shit. So it's not gonna drop on me. Okay.
It seems to have stopped.
Okay, I'm gonna reach over and I'm gonna put my hand on that scepter.
Okay.
And I'm gonna close my eyes and actually say a little prayer and be like,
I'm going to.
and I have 40 feet of movement, so I'm going to pull and take my 40 feet of movement immediately straight backwards out of there.
Okay.
I'm right in case it falls with the ring.
Sorry, what
hold
were
it.
you doing, Jonja, with the ring?
Oh, I'm ready. I'm holding my action just in case it does happen to fall while she's getting.
Good idea, but unnecessary. The scepter comes right out with her, and the net was suspended where it was safely. But that was a really good idea for a backup plan. But she was able to properly disarm the trap. You now have a scepter that, with going with your earlier investigation roll, you believe to be worth approximately 250 gold.
Okay, not bad. So I'm like, internally, Rihanna's like, oh shit, that worked. Oh my god, that worked. Externally, she's like, see, I told you guys I had this.
What's your charisma score again?
A 16.
Oh yeah, then that's probably pretty easy to pull that. To make that bluff, unless there's no need to roll that. Yeah, Miranda just turns around. What?
Uh huh. Just the
No
part.
harm, no foul.
20
He's just looking at the net just hovering over this whole thing, and he's like, turns out I was right.
John just standing there with his arms crossed, just like.
Yeah,
Okay.
if your attempt to disable had been just a little different, those other cables would have popped right off of the net like it was supposed to, but it just kind of got hung there in its own mechanics.
Yeah, it's just like.
I'm
good to
kind of
know.
curious what it is, though. Does anybody want to check it out to see if it's something that might be useful for us
No,
to use?
not even close. No, I'm going to the portcullis.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't mean to roll for anything. I promise.
I've run my
That's fine.
Fisher.
I'll just tuck. How big is that scepter, Andy?
The scepter is, I'd say, it's about the size of a mace. It looks like something that you might see nobility carry around as like um, a mantle of their station of office. So it's not huge.
Okay.
It's
So I'll take it. I'll tuck it in my belt behind my back underneath my cloak for now.
okay. That'll work. And you go over to the crank, Michael.
Yep, and I start cranking.
Okay. And as you do that, the gate begins to come up, and you suddenly get shot at as the trap goes off. And what was your AC? Without your no, this isn't a dexterity. You were in one spot. Without using your shield, what is your AC?
19.
19?
Can I
Okay.
use my? I was gonna. Before we go any further, can I use my action to try and get in the way and deflect missiles?
No, because of the way the crank was positioned, there was only one clear target. So this, you only get hit by one of these, and you take 6 points of piercing damage, and make a strength save for me. Okay, so the bolt hits you, and this was a larger bolt, by the way, but you managed to keep your grip on the crank, and you can continue to turn it.
I keep turning.
That doesn't look good, Michael.
We all saw
Yeah.
that, right?
Yeah, it was not subtle. It was several large arrows that fired out directly at him.
Was I able to see from whence they came?
Yeah, there was a mechanism apparently in the far wall that was you can, now that they fired, you can see the hole where it came from. And
Okay.
Michael
I'm going to.
keeps on turning.
I'm gonna
And
stand in front of between Michael and the portcullis.
the problem is that the crank is next to the portcullis. There's not room for another person
okay.
to stand there. Yeah, it's more like that. But
Okay, I was wondering where it was at.
yeah, sorry, I didn't put an image of a crank because I didn't think you guys were going to get that tactical on me. But
No problem.
you keep turning, and finally you hear the click of it locking into place.
So going forward, maybe you ought to let me look these things over before we start fiddling with them, huh?
Or one of us can. We're both dexterous. That's fine.
Yeah, there's always the option of letting the person who knows about traps or the person with a ring of telekinesis try to operate these things. Just an observation that never happened because I'm not there and I can't talk.
Ish does not
That was
know
kind of what
about
we
the
were
presence
saying.
of that ring. So.
Yeah, you guys
I don't know
have
you guys
good
have that
plans in retrospect. I say in retrospect because none of you ever stopped to actually ask the others what you're capable of doing. But you may now pass through.
That's right.
I can't move mine. I can't.
I'll kind of move you once they get to a spot. So for now, I'm putting you there.
Is there something messed up in Roll20 that's why she can't move it, or do you need to change something on her thing, Andy?
For one, I'm on a tablet. So that's all I got.
Yeah, it's probably a tablet because she can drop her character the first time, but for some reason it doesn't move after that.
Oh, well, that sucks.
So
Okay.
we're not sure what it is, but I don't have experience with Roll20 and tablets, so.
All right.
And also, I can't play on my PC because it won't show up the map. So.
Oh.
I'm going
Anyway.
to take a pebble and throw it at
Uh,
that giant, massive purple.
What
You
with the perception that we have? What does it look like, or does it just look like
it's
a
just
lake of purple goo?
this is actually a big cloud of darkness.
Of darkness?
Darkness.
You can't see
Okay.
anything past this bubble. It's-
Brianna, grab the scepter.
I do have double sight, which allows me to see past magical darkness.
oh, well then, you can see into it, and I'm going to say give me a perception.
I don't suppose the Eldritch Sight would do me any good enough if there was something within that darkness that's magical.
No, because the magical darkness sort of overrides whatever you might have seen.
Yeah, duh.
Okay. Oh, good grief. All right. Ish. The handful that you can see for as long as your magical, your devil sight goes through, it looks like some of these seem to have traps of various types, and some of them don't. It's obvious that each one is meant to conceal something, and it's also designed to be where a person can walk through one and be fine. For example, there's nothing on the first one that looks at all suspicious. The next one seems to have some more holes where darts are going to come from, and the one behind that, it's a little bit harder to tell because of the distance, but
Right.
it's been made where no one will know exactly what's about to happen, unless of course you can defeat the darkness.
Right.
Dispel
Throw
the
an
darkness.
darkness.
I'm going. Okay, so I'm gonna go into the first one, seeing as there seems nothing that's hostile there. I do want to, if I could, make an investigation or perception check to see if I can see if there's anything that, anything magical from where that spell is originating from.
There's it's more like it's been placed in the area, so it's
Alright.
not there's not a specific trigger. You
Alright.
you probably think that if you have dispel magic, you would have to cast it on each area.
Perfect. I do have it, but I don't want to use them in spells.
No.
I'm gonna say, okay, we're gonna start a conga line, and I take up the front and stretch my hand out.
Sorry, we're gonna do what?
A conga line.
So you can
I
see
guess
through
not.
all of this.
Yeah, you guys can.
No.
Oh,
We're not.
True sight actually can't. This is one of the few things where my true sight is just pretty much like, that's a giant pit of darkness.
So you're saying it's safe to go in there?
yeah. There's one ahead beyond this one that's a little bit more risky, but this one's no problem.
I want to go ahead and dart through it.
Okay,
Okay,
Jonja
I'll
just
take
runs
his-
right through. Jonja, how
What?
far are you running?
I'll take Ish's hand.
No, hold on a minute. We need to resolve what Jonja just said.
It's 6 feet, yeah.
60?
Just out of
Okay,
the first one.
you run through that first one. Just, you just jump through before anyone can stop you. And you
I'm like, wait, no,
you
wait.
pop out on the other side.
Come on.
Okay.
The second one.
I'm waiting for
You
it,
go
like,
through
to
the
hear
second
any.
one?
I dart through as fast as I can until I get.
I'm here.
Okay.
I'm just standing there trying to hear if I hear any traps snap or something.
Yeah, you hear as Jonja gets hit for, let me see, 7 points of force damage as you trigger the first trap. And you get hit by magic missiles.
Was it on automatic? Did it already?
Well, magic missile automatically hits. There's no blocking it. So you
Okay.
ran through and you triggered that particular trap because you just ran straight through. And now, but hey, that wasn't too bad. You're at the next one.
Oh, there's gonna be something else though.
Do not die before you pay me back all the gold that I spent to get you that stupid ring back.
Necklace. Get it right.
That's why we need to go a little bit more
Whatever.
slowly. And
Yeah, so I'll
whoever-
take Ish's hand and Michael's hand and be like, all right, let's do this.
and I'm gonna start walking past the first.
Okay.
Nothing. Come on.
And just go until I hit like the border of the second one.
And you saw as Jonja ran through, and you saw the magic missiles hit, and you see that sigil has now gone dark.
All right.
So the
Thanks,
next one
Jonja.
is safe.
Cool.
I just started them all. We're fine. We're fine.
Wait, Jonja, are you
Jonja,
gonna run? Are you gonna run through the
beta
rest of them?
No.
Okay.
Not yet.
That's what I thought I heard, so I wanted to check.
Okay, question, Andy.
Yes.
Because I'm being all technical and I'm gonna be a pain in your butt.
Go ahead.
So like the size of the thing that you have here, it actually gives us a little bit of distance in between, but I'm assuming we can't sneak past it, can we?
No. It does. Like, if you want to try and hug the wall, you can, but you're still going to be in about 5 foot of darkness. But
Okay.
if you want to hug the wall, just tell me that's what you want to do.
I was just
Can I-
asking.
Okay. I'm
Can
just
I
trying to make
see,
sure you guys know what your options are, because this is unique.
Perfect. These next two ones, the one that's right on the curve and the one that follows, do I see any sigils or traps?
If you want, I'll let you make an investigation check to be more thorough, but from where you're standing, no.
No, it's just through my vision. That's all.
First glance, you see nothing.
All right.
I don't.
All right, kids. Looks like these next ones are trapless.
I dug through before they even.
Okay,
Well, I
are you
don't.
running through
After-
one or two?
Step
It
of the
will be-
wind.
It will be the punching bag. Hopefully, this.
Okay,
Just
John,
say
do
what?
you,
Jonja is
do you
our
just
beta
run through your
tester.
first one, or do you run through both? Both?
Mhm.
Okay. Jonja, you're at the first one. Make a deck save as the floor beneath you begins to crack.
I don't know what to make.
A deck save. You've
No,
already
I
done that.
did.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I could.
You being a monk and being very, very fast, as you feel the floor begin to crack beneath you, you kind of jump, you're able to hop off and just run along the wall to get past the first one. On the second one, make another deck save. Okay. This time, no, wait a minute, sorry, wrong trap. Make a strength save, actually.
Oh.
Okay. I'm going to use both of these to help mitigate this because monks also have. Basically, what happened was when you went through that one, gravity suddenly shifted and you found yourself falling upward. Now, because of, again, various monk skills and a decent deck save, you're now standing on the ceiling, but you are standing, and as you walk out of the darkness, gravity shifts back, and again, you flip over and land safely.
Come on.
Yeah.
Ta-da!
I shot to
Monks
the side.
can
You
run
still
on
alive?
walls, so this really makes a lot of my traps worthless against him.
Level 15 monks.
But hey, Ish, you see the hole in the floor and you know how to walk around it.
And I warned him. I did. I did.
Yeah, as you're running, floor's falling.
Yep. It looked-
Ish,
Hi.
you saw all of that, so you now know what the next two traps are.
Oh, right then. I relayed the information to Michael and Rihanna. And I kind of, in his mind, it's just like, huh, this is a halfway decent dungeon. Nice
Thank you.
job.
The workers worked really, really hard on it.
Yeah, he's been in his fair share of dungeons, so he's like, actually impressed. He's like,
Jonja, are you going to keep going or are you going to wait for them?
I'm gonna wait. I'm
Okay.
gonna go to.
So I'll look at Michael and Ish and be like, okay, are we holding hands for safety to go through these again?
Yes. Keep in single file.
I do tell him about the pit in the floor though.
Yes, and this is where you're able to like, okay, everybody, you know, you because of your eyesight and everything, it won't be a problem for you guys to avoid the floor, but you do walk very carefully. But the trap's already been triggered. There's just enough room for you guys to scoot around, and then you're at the reverse gravity section. And I don't know if you know how to avoid gravity. I mean,
Like
Janja clearly can avoid gravity, but the
that
rest
was
of you
weird.
might have trouble.
What's the lighting
I just
situation
don't-
in here?
Except for the patches of darkness, everything is lit by magical torches.
Good.
I don't want to use.
Or maybe somebody just
spell
runs
slots.
along ahead of you lighting all the torches. You're really not sure. No one's ever figured that out.
Let's test that theory.
Is there
Darn invisible goblin.
Well, how are you going to test that theory?
I don't know. I'll figure monks fix everything.
So do you tell us about the reverse gravity thing?
Yeah, I say that one's weird.
So basically, we just have to be prepared and make dex saves or something, right?
Well, I have a way for one of us to get over there. I don't want to use it.
Then don't.
Technically, I could get us through the rest of the trap.
Well,
Need
what
one
is
of
it
the
you think
first-
might work, and I'll tell you what check to make to verify.
It would be dimension door, but I'm against it just so I don't have to use a spell slot.
Okay,
yet.
yeah. Dimension door only works for you and one person.
Yeah. I'm like a little bit against it. I could just dispel this one trap, but I think that's just a waste.
Well, the reason I was
And
asking
then
about
it's
the
just
lighting
like,
situation.
I've faced worse, fuck it. And he's just gonna run through the trap, just ignoring any hazard.
Okay, make a strength save.
That's my job.
Oh, that's bad. Oh, not too bad.
Okay, with that, you were actually able to propel yourself fast enough that before you could hit the ceiling, you make it through the trap, and it's a little bit, of a. If anything, it just gave you one hell of a long jump, but it worked out well for you.
That's surprising considering I have a -1 to strength. Though.
I know it was a really good
good.
roll for you.
Yep.
Okay, I think the way I'm gonna handle this is I'm gonna put my hands on the edges of my cloak of the bat, step into it, and as soon as it is dark, do whatever it is that I don't remember how I ever got it. If it was just
You
like
basically
a thing.
glide.
Yeah, I'll just kind of like step in and be like, all right, I'm just gonna fly across this.
Okay, make a strength save. Rihanna, you think you're going to glide right across, but gravity suddenly shifts, throwing you off balance, and you hit the ceiling, taking 4 points of bludgeoning damage.
Ow.
And once you're sort of reacclimated, you're able to, walk, glide out, however. It was just that sudden shift that really does it to you. Oh, and the fact that the room's only like 10 feet tall. And you're
Michael's
right, Nick. Reckless bravery has been working so well for you. It's shocking, really.
I'm sorry, for who?
Flips.
This one time, being reckless has worked out. I don't understand it.
I'm ready to part, multi-classing fighter so that I can have action surge and all the attacks as a monk. It'll be great.
Dear
That would be a
Lord.
little OP. We'd have to actually check to see if your
Yeah.
stats allow for it. Michael, you just heard Rihanna slam into the ceiling.
I'm going to do a handstand and walk into the darkness.
Okay, give me a strength check before you go into the darkness.
I'd make him do acrobatics too for that handstand because I don't think he can
Yeah,
do
that's
it.
gonna be both. Let's do both of those because you need the arm strength to walk. Okay, you're able to keep your balance well enough, but unfortunately, you don't have the arm strength to walk on your hands, only to stand there. But it's impressive looking if for the one person who can see you.
Okay. Screw that. I'm just going to do a roll from the handstand. I'm going to do a rolling flip right into it.
Okay, make a strength
Acrobatic?
save.
This is just like side, and she's like,
Yeah, I'm just
pretty
there
nice.
still with my arms crossed.
Okay, you're trying to go for the roll, and as you roll in and gravity shifts, you roll up to the ceiling, taking 5 points of bludgeoning damage.
Can I do an acrobatics roll for that? Because I already know that the trap is going to invert me towards the ceiling.
No, because I gave it that with the advantage, and your 17 was already the highest. This isn't so much about sticking the landing; it's just trying to move faster than the gravity slams you.
Ah, okay.
So, it's
Okay.
it's magic.
I
It's,
would,
how many points of bludgeoning?
5.
I would like to continue on further.
Okay, Janja keeps doing the Janja thing. How many are you running through? You can only see one at a time.
I want to
So,
walk on.
do what? Just walking through
I want-
one?
I want to walk on the wall for both.
Oh, okay.
Just
Yeah. Okay, let me double check my notes here.
avoid any other.
Prince of Persia style.
Nothing
It'll-
happens on the first one. And to do what was your AC?
17.
Okay, nothing happens on the second one.
Do I hear anything?
Oh yeah, you heard a whole bunch of darts go
Indeed.
flying by you, and Ish, you saw the darts go flying out of the floor.
Out of the Lord. Oh Lord.
Thank goodness I went.
Nothing on the first one, the one that's in front of me, right?
No, nothing happened when. But again, to be clear, Janja was running on the wall this time. He did specify that.
When he sees her just running across the wall, really. So much for proofing these traps. Um,
So you know that one. You know what that one means. I don't know what the first one does. Good luck with
So can Ish
yeah,
like
but it's not that.
can Ish make like an investigation check to see if he can see if there's still a trap in that first one?
Sure.
Yeah, I
You know,
want to do that.
the downside of that would be you have to get really close to a trap to identify a trap. So I mean,
Oh, so in other words,
I-
in other words, just looking in there, he can't see anything obvious.
no, nothing obvious.
Brianna,
Okay.
don't you have some ball bearings?
Yeah.
See,
I'll
this is
reach
the
in.
point at which Vesh would be very useful. You just throw in the snake and, well,
Yeah, you just didn't resummon them during your break.
yes, I do say that out loud.
I look at Michael like, yes, you're correct. And I'll reach in my bag and take a handful of ball bearings and just kind of toss them in there on the floor.
Okay. They clink against the floor and roll around, but nothing happens.
That's great.
Screw it. I'm just going to run. I got 40 feet of
Yeah,
movement.
I'm just saying, okay, ball bearing work, and I'm just gonna go towards the other side.
Okay. Michael, are you waiting for them?
I'm going to do it at the same time.
Okay. Everybody make
All right.
a deck save.
Oh.
And that's why I wasn't worried, because I knew that I had a plus
Okay.
10 to my deck save.
Yeah. The floor begins to crack beneath you all, but you all just, start bouncing from one tile to the other as they fall beneath you, and you make it out, and now you're standing on front of another patch of darkness.
Right. I told him about the needles coming out of the darts coming out of the floor. Oh,
So is that a one-time trappy thing?
anybody got darts coming out of the floor?
I'm gonna prep my shield for this one.
Okay.
I got nothing.
Me neither.
I will ready up my action to use the ring of telekinesis in case anything does happen to.
Okay.
I'm
I know how to
going
work
to
that in
actually
my
take a
head.
cue from. I'm gonna take a cue from John. He's gonna say, "I saw her do it twice. I think I can pull it off." And I'm gonna try to Prince of Persia wall run this with the little dexterity I have.
Okay, make a dex check as you try to run along the wall like Jonja does.
It's gonna be fine.
Okay.
I thought
Fine.
it'd be worse.
Yeah, you try to parkour off, and as you go running through, the only thing that kept you from getting punctured by darts was the fact that Jonja had put a slight telekinetic field over the patch of darts, and well, where Jonja thinks the darts are coming from. Because what you do is you kind of hop off the wall and back onto the floor, and you kind of hop back to the wall again, but it's not quite as smooth as what a monk can do. So you're playing hopscotch between the floor and the wall,
Or that I
but
got
you
it.
do see
I got
when
it.
the darts hit and the telekinetic field that was out.
I just pretend I never saw him. I'm like,
Okay.
yeah, I had it. I nailed that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. And
And I
because
keep
no one else could see you, you totally nailed that.
it got the telekinetic field going as the rest come through.
Well, if we know that that's the case, then yes, it will go through. But nobody verbally said, "Hey, I got you covered."
We don't.
Okay, I will look at Michael and I'll be like, "I'll see you on the other side," and I'm gonna run through it.
Yeah, Rihanna got through okay.
Okay, Michael, your turn.
I'm going to run through it as well. Do I need to make any checks?
No, you're okay. Ish just sees a whole bunch of needles that are basically collecting within the power of Jonja's telekinetic ring.
Oh, that wasn't so bad, guys.
The disabled one.
It's okay.
Broken. And I
And,
turn.
and I'm gonna like move up slowly, and I'm gonna peek around the corner because I'm a little paranoid at this point.
I go. I'm not stopping. I'm just walking
Jonja
on.
just goes trotting through. Jonja, you see, you see the door ahead of you, and there's a couple little notches in the floor here and there.
Okay, we all have to go probably at the same time. So, let's grab hands. I'm agreeing with your idea now. Ish.
What are the notches in the floor for?
I don't know.
Can
We'll see.
Michael's going to investigate that.
Okay.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, I did that, but I just can't focus right now.
Yeah, Rihanna, you just see like Michael. You get down and you're looking at the floor. It's like, yeah, it's just a little, like, almost like where water might be drained away, sort of a thing.
I would like to invest.
Yeah, go ahead. I mean, I'm
Because-
not stopping. You just gotta make the roll.
I'm gonna try to facilitate that. I'm gonna use ghostly gaze to see if there's some contraption behind the wall. Specifically, if I can see what the contraption is.
No, there's nothing. Jonja, I mean, you take a look and You think this is some kind of a marking system, but there doesn't seem to be any indication of what it's marking.
I relay that information back to them.
How big are these little holes in the floor?
Oh, it's like a line across the floor. It's really just like a small divot. There's not big enough to trip in. Uh, it's it's just a line in the floor.
Okay, I'll take out another ball bearing and I'll drop it in that little trough line and or
Okay.
like kind of give it a little so it kind of like rolls in there somehow.
Yeah, ball bearings are small enough that it fits inside and nothing happens.
Okay, I'll pick my ball bearing back up.
I'm gonna take a page from Janja and just sprint across the other side.
Okay. So you start running. Make a strength save.
See, it does not go well when I try to imitate monks. Why is that?
That's because you're not a monk, dear.
Okay, so you start running and you feel resistance. And at the first few steps, that resistance is nothing, but it slowly pushes you back to there.
Okay. This is. Does it feel. I imagine that it does, but. Stupid question. Does it feel like magic?
It feels like the reverse gravity field, but aimed in a different direction.
I would like to
Can-
walk
can I-
through.
Okay, Janja tries to walk through. Make a strength save.
I would like to run actually at full
Okay,
speed.
run, but make the strength save.
Oh, oh no!
Okay, you make it even less. You
No,
don't
no.
even make it as far as ish before you get pushed back.
Thing that was an accident. That's the right thing.
Okay, Michael. Yeah, sorry, I didn't realize on True Sight, and when you said you couldn't see, I assumed that. Yeah, so you saw everything that happened through that other, but. All right. Yeah, you guys are noticing that every time these guys try to run forward, they just get pushed back.
So does my Eldritch Sight or even Michael's True Sight allow us to see where this is coming from to identify the source of this
Your
magic?
Eldritch Sight will show you that there is some kind of a magic on the door right up here.
How?
We can't see
Sorry,
where
yeah, that didn't show up.
Okay, the door at the end of the hallway, it's got some kind of magic on it. You can see the glow.
There, you mean?
Well, I rolled back, so yeah, there.
Can I throw a dart at it?
Yeah,
that's
you
a
can, you
long
can throw a
ways off.
dart.
Okay.
Make a strength check.
Oh, okay. Strength check.
So say that is a long ass ways away.
Okay, so you throw the dart, and
Out of the way!
it gets part way, and then it starts to fly back at you, but then it hits the floor. It made it to just about past the second notch, and then it fell back to the floor here.
Is there anything invisible?
No.
Oh shit! It's an actual force spell.
I mean, you can make a perception check. I'm just saying you don't see anything from where you are. It's not like there's a ghost standing there pushing you back. Which would actually be really cool, and I'm going to make a note of that for later. From where you are, you don't see anything that is triggering this. I should probably say I did sort of design this intent, with the thought that you would have your super strong paladin here also. But I think you guys can figure out a way around it.
So,
I'm going to try and dispel this.
okay, because I took out my short bow, thought I could try and shoot an arrow at it, because that'll probably have more force behind it than a dart that's thrown.
Okay, so you're going to try to shoot it. What is the? All right, let me check the distance here.
It was 150 feet from that line to the door.
Okay, then What are you trying to cast Dispel Magic on, Michael?
I'm trying to. If Rihanna has noted the point of origin for the spell, I'm going to use Dispel Magic on
It is
that.
outside of your range. The door is 150 feet
It's
from where you're
150
standing.
feet away.
You got to try to get closer.
All right, I'm going to try and do that.
Okay, try to do that. Okay. Michael, you start walking forward and you get to the first notch. You feel the strain, but it's not enough to stop you.
Am I close enough now?
Actually, with that one, you can keep right on walking to right here if you wish. The next notch.
All right, I'm going to Dispel Magic now on that door.
Okay. You dispel magic, and suddenly the force pushing against you goes away.
Nicely done.
You know from experience that dispelling enchantments like that can last for about a minute.
Oh.
I
So
open
we
the
move
door.
on down the hallway.
So-
I open the door.
Everybody runs through to the next door, I take it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Guys, I'm going to move you to the next room now.
Secret.
You enter through the doorway into a room filled with cobwebs everywhere. Strong ones that stick to your feet, giving you the impression that this is going to be difficult terrain. In front of you is a massive spider with thousands of tiny spiders chittering around the room.
I want to use my feet to be able to take my action or whatever. Maybe
We
not.
gotta put the pesticides in our packs.
I want to use Skulker, which I'll hide in dim light.
Okay.
Just,
Make a stealth check, and yes, Rihanna, you are able to. If you're using your dash action, you will not be held by the webs.
Okay.
I can hide when lightly obscured from creatures I'm hiding from.
hmm
If I miss with a ranged attack, it doesn't reveal where I'm at. Where I threw.
Okay. So when you get in this room, you start seeing everything. Take this, make a stealth check for me, so I know how well you're hiding.
Oh.
I'm just going to use tongues to try and talk with the spider.
Okay.
Hello.
And I want to get behind the spider.
I'm gonna stand beside Mike.
Okay. There's a lot going on. Let's everybody roll initiative for me, because I can't have you all just acting this fast.
No, I'm just standing there. I'm not doing anything.
Yeah, that's fine. I want to go ahead and get the initiative.
Well, I wasn't saying that I had run into the room, Andy. I
Well-
was just saying that because of that feat.
I understand.
Okay.
But if we get the initiative rolled now, then when things kick off, I've got it. So, let me get everybody written down first. Where did I put?
I only see Michael and Jonja on that map.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Oh,
guess
there's
everybody
the
else
map.
hasn't put themselves in the map yet.
I can
Where is she? Where is she?
I don't see anybody actually. I don't see token 9 foot. The giant spider.
You know, I'm just gonna go ahead and put
Oh, now I see.
here, and then Michael and Jonja. Okay, so Jonja is already, tried to dive into behind the webs and is attempting to hide.
I was gonna go behind.
I know, but you can't just run that distance all at once. So that's why I'm
Especially
saying
if you're stealthing. I mean, you can't run and stealth at the same time.
yes.
Okay, never mind.
And also, Jonja, give me a strength check. Okay. As you're creeping along, the webs don't hold you, but but there's no way to move through this room without getting into the webs. So, Michael, you cast tongues and you start trying to speak to the spider. What do you say?
Hello, how are you doing today?
Oh, I was quite famished, but I see the dinner has served itself.
We're not edible.
And she starts cackling, and you notice the cocoons around happen to be about 5 to 6 feet long, and then you also start noticing some of the piles of bones around her, and you're pretty sure she disagrees with that.
What was it that was said? My phone died a while. You were saying, oh, I'm fine. After that, it cut off.
Basically, your dinner.
And I also can understand it, right? Unless this is.
Yes, she speaks common,
Oh, okay. I can
and
understand.
and with that, Ish gets the first initiative move.
She. Okay, she is outwardly hostile, right?
There are humanoid bones surrounding her.
Okay. I. This might seem like a big move, but he's not sure what to do. So I'm going to cast Shroud of Shadows. So I'm going to cast invisibility on myself,
Okay.
and I'm just going to wait to see what happens.
Okay. Rihanna, it's your turn.
Great. Shite. Well. Sorry. Give me a second here. I'm gonna look at these spells because I can't remember what they do because I don't use them often enough. Bonus action.
Okay, well, while you're checking
Okay,
out
no, I know what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
Sorry. First I'm gonna cast Hex on her.
Okay.
Then I'm going to shit, that's not gonna work.
What ability are you hexing of hers?
Let me think. Strength.
Okay.
And then I'm going to shoot her with Eldritch Blast, I guess.
Okay. You get 3 Eldritch Blasts at your level. Okay. And you do hit with a couple of those. So the second one misses, but the other 2 hit.
Okay.
Okay.
And then I'm going. Sorry, I guess that's it.
Oh, roll your necrotic damage from your hex.
Oh, yeah.
I won't remind you of that one again. It was just right there in front of me. I will forget next time. Okay. And now it is. Oh, wait a minute. First off, everybody except for Jonja, who's already made this roll, needs to make a strength check.
Check my
My special.
save.
Okay. Everyone who has walked into the room is restrained by the webs. And that means that the rest of you get an attack speed of 0. And now it is her turn. And she is already laughing quite a bit as now none of you are close enough and she doesn't feel like moving. So she is going to cast well, actually, no, she doesn't really cast a spell, but two swarms of her spiders congregate, and I don't have an icon for them just yet. But there's so a couple of spiders are going to appear. Let's just drop them here and here, and that is her turn. Michael, it is your turn.
I'm going to be casting Shatter.
Okay, Shatter has how much room around it again? It's what, a 60-foot space?
It is a 60-foot range.
I mean, how wide is it?
It is. Let me just double check.
Because if it's 60 feet, then you probably don't feel safe trying to cast it in here.
It is
I
not.
realize the room is slightly larger, but you also can't see
10-foot
John.
radius sphere. 10-foot radius sphere.
Okay. What needs to be rolled on my end?
I'll give you that in just a second. So that's going to be. It's going to be cast right here in front of them all, so it's going to be getting both spiders and her.
Okay.
And that's going to be a DC 18, and I'm casting it at level 6.
Okay.
Constitution.
Okay. How much damage would be caused overall?
Overall, 30 points of damage.
Okay. And if they make it, that is half, correct?
Yep.
Alright, I'm just checking on everybody's here. Okay. One spider is immediately crushed, and the other one is not quite. And she is very unhappy that you are such a rude dinner guest.
This is a drider. It looks like a drider.
Well, it's not. It's just a giant spider with humanoid arms. It's and Janja, it is your turn. You had said you wanted to try to sneak around.
Yeah, I use however far I can go, which is 110 feet.
Not with the webs pulling at you. You can only go half of that at best.
Yeah. 55 is my base speed.
Okay. So,
and if anything, yeah, I'm just gonna go 55.
You want to walk forward about 55 feet.
Yeah.
So roughly there. Okay. And that's your turn. And now that you are closer to her, she's going to use a legendary action to attack you.
I thought she might have blindside. I wasn't too sure though. I tested my theory.
Yeah, well, you're also, in her webs. There's absolutely no way to avoid that. What is your AC, Janja? How much?
17.
Okay. Then you take 17 points of slashing damage as she just rakes a claw right across you.
Okay.
And now, Ish, it is your turn.
Well, she's clearly hostile. Alrighty then. You said one of the swarms of spiders was eradicated, or just pushed back?
Yes, one was eradicated, one was crushed heavily but survived.
Sorry about that. I didn't mean to do that.
Right. Sure. I will. Yeah, I'll stay Yeah, I have 30 feet of movement. So what I'm gonna
You
do
have
is
half of that right now, and you have to
Yeah.
make a strength
Oh.
check to walk.
all right. And would that use my action?
No, but you just know that before you make any movements at all, you have to make a strength check because you have to fight the webs.
Oh, okay. No, then I'll stay. And I'll just cast Chill Touch on that small group of spiders.
Okay, cast it.
Yes, like. Thousand.
Okay, do they need to make a save or is that an attack?
It's an attack.
Okay, then go ahead and roll damage. Okay,
Points of necrotic damage.
you freeze the remainder of the spiders, and Ish, it is your turn. I mean, Rihanna, it's your turn.
Again?
Okay, so I have a question.
Yeah.
With my mobile feet, does that mean I still have to make a strength check against these?
I'm gonna say you have to make the. Does it say that you can't be restrained, or does it just say that you don't that the distant rough terrain isn't a problem if you're dashing?
When you use the dash action, difficult terrain doesn't cost you extra movement.
Okay, so if you dash, you can still make the movement, but you still have to make the strength check to fight the webs.
Okay. So, what I'm going to do then is I'm going to, I guess, do the strength check to see if I can get through it.
No.
Poop.
You pull and
Okay.
your feet are stuck firmly.
Like, damn it. Okay. So, then I guess what I'm going to do next is I am going to try to clear out some of this crap. I'm going to use Burning Hands
Okay.
to try and, I guess, try to burn off some of these webs to give us a little bit of room.
Okay. Yeah, the webs catch fire very quickly, and everyone in the room will take 6 points of fire damage.
Okay.
But hey,
about me?
you can now move for the moment.
What about me?
You take 6 points of fire damage.
So all the webs
Okay.
go up in flame?
They are starting to burn. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and if you're in the room, you take that fire damage.
That's fine.
No, I was
Um,
referring to the ones who thought they could get out of it for some reason.
Oh. Okay, so that was my
There-
action. Then that's
Yeah,
my
there's no escaping from that. Did you have any? Did you have a bonus action you wanted to try?
Well, yeah, I was thinking, but I got my screen isn't big enough to have 3 things open, so I have to keep flipping between them. So I apologize. So I was thinking that I hate this because it doesn't say on here. Are all the cantrips considered actions? I thought some of them were bonus actions.
Some of them are bonus actions, but I don't recall which ones. So
Mostly our good can.
What's that? What was
usually,
that?
if it's an attack, it's an action.
Yeah. Only things like activate cantrips, like Shalala or both.
Okay, sorry guys. So I guess what I'm gonna do then is I don't think I have anything I can do.
Okay, in that case, it is
Bonus action.
her turn again, and she is. All right, let's see what's the first thing she's going to do. All
She's
right.
probably pissed.
Yeah, the first thing she's going to do is she is going to absolutely freaking wail on this one Janja who is within her reach. And
I didn't mean to do that. That was
Oh,
nice.
hey Andy.
yeah,
Does my hex? Do I get to automatically roll again for the hex damage?
no, because the fire damage was more environmental, and that only happens when you're causing damage.
Okay, so the hex only applies if I hit her.
Yes.
Got it.
Okay. Oh yeah.
I would like.
Janja, you are about to be very unhappy because you're going to take 34 points of slashing damage as her claws rake across you again.
34. Okay.
Yes. And then she also starts to spit out more web. And
Can
that is going to be, yeah, this ring here, that's the webbing around her. Because that's
Okay,
the
so-
only 30-foot radius I got.
Okay, I was just gonna use
Oh.
evasion.
Wouldn't it start to catch fire too?
Well, no,
everything else-
because everything else is already burned.
Oh,
So
okay.
she's spitting out new
Okay.
web to replace what you burned away. And now it is Michael's turn.
Yeah, I'm going to use Shatter again. And Shatter actually destroys objects that aren't being worn. So her web's going to be gone.
No, not really, because that's flexible, and it doesn't. You can bend web without breaking it. So no.
Okay.
So she needs to make a con roll.
Overruled.
No, that's the DM overrules things, not you. Look, this is basically trying to break rope with a hammer. It doesn't work.
So if
I
she
mean-
doesn't make the DC 18 con roll, she takes 25 points of damage.
She does make it, so she takes half of that.
So half of 25 is, I think, 12.
I'll round it up to 13 to be nice. Okay. Do you have anything else with your bonus actions? I'm going to take that as a no.
No, I don't.
Okay, Janja, it is your turn. You are
Oh.
at the very edge of her web of hair.
I would like. Sorry, I do my safari. I think I'm going to run.
Well,
away.
you're in the webs again, so you need to make a strength check. You know what? I'm rereading this. I'll let you make a dexterity save.
I don't mean to select all these. I'm trying to scroll.
Just for right now, make a dex save to see if you avoid the webs. No, you did not avoid the webs. So you need to make strength checks to try to move. You do not move. But you are close enough, you can punch her.
I punch her.
Okay, make your rolls.
An arm strike.
Okay, no, that does not get through her armor.
Bonus action. An
You
arm
get
strike.
2 unarmed attacks.
I keep forgetting that.
Yeah, and I'm going to quit reminding you. Okay, you still get 1 more for your you're using your key point. So you get 1 more unarmed strike. Okay, that one hit. Roll damage once.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm doing something.
Yes, you finally deal a minor amount of damage. And she doesn't like that, so she's going to hit you back. And she gets a natural 20. Take 34 points of slashing damage. And I didn't have my cards out, so I won't add to that.
I am down.
Okay.
34. Okay.
Ish. Janja just went down through a massive claw attack.
Okay, that changes a lot what I had planned.
I don't want to roll.
Okay, quit hitting
Would-
things.
Question: would she be considered a? Screw it. I'm just going to. I don't want to move, so I'll just. Oh, shit. Yeah, I'm just going to. She'll touch her this time
Okay.
because I have nothing better to do. I want to see if I can grab her. Oh,
Alright, that did not work.
Yeah.
Do you have any bonus actions?
No, I do not.
Okay, Rihanna, it's your turn. You do have a clear path all the way up to that 30-foot web of hair thing around her.
Yeah, I know. My thought was I was going to take my full movement of 40 feet to get, I guess, right into her web.
Yeah.
So my next question is, okay, so my armor has that ability for me to use Misty Step.
Mm-hmm.
Problem is she's so big that I'm not going to actually be able to teleport behind her. I'd end up on top of her or underneath her.
Let's see. Her size is huge, so this is a pretty big room. You can only teleport to where you can see, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, you could appear
Well,
underneath her.
I mean, yeah, it says I can teleport up to 10 feet away from my current position to place myself immediately behind a target creature. So,
For this, I'll let you appear like underneath her near the back.
okay, well then I will use that. And, oops, that's not. And I will use my sword and slash her from underneath.
Okay, and because of your positioning, I will grant you sneak attack.
Sweet.
Which you needed with that other roll, but that gives you 30 points of slashing damage. Okay, she's aware you're there now.
Yep.
And the problem is that you, make a dex check for the webbing, because that is around
Okay.
her. Like, that doesn't just make a circle, that's everywhere around her.
No, yeah, I get it.
Okay, so you were able to teleport because of your armor, but you are stuck inside of her webbing. But you're also not exactly where she can reach you, because you picked a good spot, and she's having trouble attacking you.
Yeah, so
She's
that
still
was
gonna,
that was the whole plan.
yeah. I mean, she's going to try because she's really pissed off at you, but she's doing it at disadvantage. What was your AC?
17.
Okay. She's going to hit you once for 17 points of slashing damage, but her other attack will miss you. And like I said, she's really preoccupied by what just gutted her, basically. So that makes it Michael's turn.
So, but I'm going to use Uncanny Dodge on that if that's possible. Or am I stuck? Does that not?
Is Uncanny Dodge a reaction? Or, I believe it's in a reaction. I'll let you use it.
Okay, so how many
it never
was
said
original
anything
points?
about physical, being able to move. Half of 17, call that
8.
18. Yeah, 8. And
Okie dokie.
Michael, it is your turn. Oh,
Alright.
and let's move Rihanna. Actually, well, Rihanna, if you can move yourself because I can't move you, you can just kind of.
I can't get a hold of myself because the ring is in the
Oh,
way.
okay. All right, I'm gonna pop you there. We'll just know that you're underneath.
Sounds good.
Okay, Michael, now it's your turn.
If I use Thunderwave, I'm not going to affect Rihanna, am I?
Thunder Wave is a cone. You might hit her.
It's not a cone. It's actually
A cube? Then you're pretty sure you'll hit her.
It's okay. Do what you gotta do.
That's the thing. I can probably one-shot kill you.
Oh shit. Take care of Jonathan. That's probably priority.
I did what I did to distract her so that you guys could possibly get to Jandra
Okay,
and or finish this thing off.
Rihanna, you need to make a con save as well.
What's that?
You need to make a con save.
Okay.
You get moved 10 feet if you fail, so.
Well, no, because of webbing, she won't move.
Oh, yeah.
But hey, everybody takes 23 points of thunder damage because
Me too?
she failed that one. No, just the ones that got hit.
Okay, I was like, that big.
I meant the ones that were
23?
getting hit.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
shit. Okay.
Michael hits hard.
Okay, yeah. Um, the giant spider was very unhappy about that particular one, and Jonja, make a death save. Okay, you make one. Ish, it is your turn again. Oh, and Michael,
All right.
because I'm giving everybody one little detail. Bardic Inspiration is a bonus action. Consider that next time.
Oh yeah, frack.
Ish, it is your turn.
I thought he knew
Hey,
that.
No more
Andy, real quick,
freebies.
Andy, I have a quick question.
Yes.
Sorry. Because I keep forgetting about this reliable talent that I have. Does that only apply to ability checks, or does that apply to saves as well?
I don't know. I've never played a rogue,
Okay.
so
So it just says when you make an ability check, but I don't know.
then it would be an ability check. It's something we can look into more later, but for now
Yeah, no problem, no problem.
we'll say
Yeah,
ability. Okay, Ish, it is your turn.
All right, boys and girls, we're gonna try this. I point to Michael and say, "Get ready," and I'm gonna cast banishment on the she spider.
Oh, nice. That's a charisma save, right?
Yep.
Okay. What does she need to roll?
She needs to be at a 17.
She beat a 17.
I start swearing in abyssal.
Okay, that's fair.
Uh,
Rihanna, it is your turn.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go at her with my sword again.
Okay. Make it, you're still going to get your sneak attack because Michael has definitely become enough of a threat to draw her attention.
Yeah. Oh, hey. Huh. Damn it! I forgot about the hex damage last time, but I won't forget this time.
Okay, yeah, that's 36 points. Good God. When you guys hit, when you actually do it, oh, I forgot about that. 37, yeah.
I think that hex is worthless. All I ever get are ones.
Let's see. No, I did that math wrong. Okay. Do you have any bonus actions you want to try?
The only bonus action I have is that Misty Step thing that my armor does, but
Okay.
I'm in a good position where I'm at. So
I mean, you've always got. I think you can take dash as a bonus action. You just have to get out of the webs.
true.
But
True.
unless you want to do that, it is her turn, and she is very pissed off at this person playing the lute at her. Michael, what is your AC again?
21, bitch.
Okay.
Sorry, that's to her. That's to her, not to you.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? It's fine because she hit you twice with her claws. You take 34 points of slashing damage.
I'm still standing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, and I forgot to check on something. Okay. Yeah,
For some reason, when you said that, Michael, the I can't remember the name of the song, but from Caddyshack, it's like I'm all right. That's for some reason that popped in my head when you said I'm still standing. I don't know why.
She lets out more of her webbing, which now takes up 60 feet. Michael, make a dexterity save for me as the webs come shooting out.
And I can add in
You got
my
this.
freaking shield's AC, which is quite.
To a dexterity check?
Yes, because I'm a shield master.
Oh, I don't know this ability. That's why I'm asking.
Sorry, it's just one of those.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's something I've never heard of because I've never known anyone to use it. So I'm impressed. Give it a try.
That's a good feat.
Okay,
what-
it's still not enough.
No, I know, but it's just like
Yeah. Okay. So you are now stuck in the web, and if you want to make a move because it is your turn, you'll need to make a strength check to get out of the webbing.
am I close enough to stab her with my sword?
You're a couple feet. You know, I'm gonna say because you guys are a little underpowered from what I expected when I designed this. I'll say you're close enough to attack her.
Yeah. Then what? Here's what I'm going to do then. I'm going to do another shatter. Not another shatter. I'm going to do another thunder wave.
Remember, Rihanna's there.
You gonna be okay, Rihanna?
Yeah, do what you gotta do.
Okay. Then everybody involved, make a con save.
All right. DC 18 con save.
All right. She fails, but she chooses not to fail. So
All right, that's fine.
Oh,
she'll only take half of that. She uses her first legendary action.
And as
So,
my bonus action,
20.
I'm going to stab her with my rapier because
Okay. Just a second.
battle-
I'm doing math. Give me a
actually
second.
no, I'm going to cast Bardic Inspiration on Ish.
Okay. Jonja, make another death save.
Question:
Yes.
Does evasion apply to his thunder wave he just
Yes,
did?
it does. It does.
Yes.
All right, Jonja, you made your second death save, just barely.
Oh, no, I didn't mean to do that. Why am I doing this?
I'm only counting the first one. Calm down. There's enough
No.
to be scared of. Let's not add to it.
Was that a
Ish.
save?
You have your inspiration as
All right,
your
I'm
turn
going
comes
to-
around.
I'm going to take advantage of that.
Was that a success or a fail?
It was a success. You have 2 successes.
Okay, I was making.
Yeah.
I didn't know if 10 was.
10 is just barely, but it counts.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna pull out a small piece of twig, aim it at the big ugly spider, and I'm gonna cast Witch Bolt because I'm tired of this bitch just standing there.
Okay, make your attack.
All right.
And it is
that would
it is a D12 for my Bardic Inspiration now. So
D12. Holy crap.
yeah,
Yeah, you guys are
Okay.
actually powerful.
and you can add that onto the damage roll.
Oh.
All right.
Yeah.
Witch
Okay,
Bolt
so
is
the attack roll?
and okay. Yeah, that
And,
hit.
yeah.
So roll damage.
All right. So reading the spell correctly, it's 1d12, but because it's 5th level, it's 4 more. So that'd be 5d12 plus how. The inspiration is how many?
One
What dice is it?
1d12.
Roll 6d12.
Okay, so 6d12.
Yeah. Oh crap.
Get it! Get it!
That's impressive.
Warlocks, man.
Ooh, 45 points of
45
damage.
points of lightning damage as Ish's rage is channeled into this.
Huh, I gotta get the calculator. My math skills are not gonna be this good.
Just say she's dead.
I can't do that. You guys are actually posing a threat now.
Problem solved. She's just dead.
Okay, she doesn't like that at all, but she can't get to Ish. She
Right
can,
back.
however, get to the rest of you as the webs restraining you become toxic. Everyone takes 18 points of damage. Jonja, that's 1 death fail for you. And she hisses at you, nasty house guest. Why don't you just die?
Oh, you didn't like that?
So I got a failure?
Yes, you have 1 because of the poison damage that hit you. Rihanna,
I
it
kind of
is
made a
your
goal,
turn.
so
No, there was
it's not gonna be go.
Rihanna, it is your turn.
Sorry.
Rihanna, are you there? Okay.
Sorry, I had to deal with the dog.
Okay.
Go.
Yeah, it's your turn. She's not looking great as Ish's lightning is still striking her.
I like his style. Okay.
It is something you've attempted before.
Yeah.
It was never quite as effective for you.
No.
What? No.
Well, of course, I also can't cast, at like 4th level.
Oh
'cause
yeah,
I'm-
that's sort of a bonus to him.
So, question. I'm gonna try something risky here. I think
Okay.
I have in my bag a potion of diminution. If I were to pour that on her, would that shrink her?
Ooh, I've never considered using this as a weapon before. And where you're at, and with your
Mm-hmm.
poisoning abilities,
Mm-hmm.
you see a nice gouge where caused by your blade.
Mm-hmm.
Make this a sleight of hand attack, which is for you a sleight of hand check, basically.
Okay.
Oh crap! So Rihanna, you uncork the vial and you just like jam it up into her and sort of crack it as you feel it go into her armor. And yeah, this is pretty unpleasant for her as she starts to shrink. I don't know how this. Give me a second.
Yeah, I don't know. I was looking in my inventory of anything I had that would help,
Yeah.
and I was like,
No, I think this is a great idea, and I'm trying to figure out how to apply it as damage to her at the same time because there's really no save for something like this. So first off,
I was just thinking of the fact that it would just make her smaller and easier for us to finish off.
yeah, I'm gonna say, yeah, I know. All right, I figured out in my head what this is going to do, and I was really impressed by that. I'm gonna let you have one more action, but it can't be a sneak attack. If you attack, it's regular damage.
Okay, I can do that. I'll just take
Because
my sword
that was a
through
really
again.
cool idea, and you deserve something. You deserve a bonus. That was your
Thanks.
bonus action.
Woohoo!
Okay. Yeah, with her weakened natural armor, she'll take 10 points of yeah, piercing damage.
Sweet.
And she cries out, "What have you done?" And then she lets out another shriek that shakes the ground around her, and all of her children swarm over her, forming a protective armor.
I'm assuming I'm standing next to her now because I don't know how small it ended up making her.
She went from huge to large, so I'm gonna say, yeah, we're gonna say you're now next to her. So,
Could I say that I stepped back behind her?
Yeah, I'll let you be behind her for this because that was an interesting idea and all. Yeah, and so it's her turn. She's just activated her special ability a little early because she deserves it. Because as her spider children swarm around her, but she's really mad at you for that one, Rihanna. So she's going to attack you now.
Of course.
What is your AC?
17.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out what I need to subtract from hers. She's only going to hit you once with a bite attack. And I need to. I actually have to like roll everything now because I can't just use the suggested abilities. And let me get this on top of that. You take 10 points of piercing damage.
Can I use Uncanny Dodge?
Yes, you can, but you are still going to take some of the poison damage that is inflicted. I just need, but her poison isn't what it was, so I need new dice for that.
Do I make a con save against that?
No, it was part of the hit.
Okay, fair enough.
So you take 8 points of poisoning damage.
Ow.
And that is her round. John,
And then she
I'm
bites
sorry.
me.
No.
I said, guys, finish this off.
Michael, it is your turn.
I am going to. It's a free action to first interact with an item off the go, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to chug a healing potion.
No, that is a
That's
I'm rolling
four.
that as a bonus action for you guys.
Okay, no, I won't do that then.
Okay.
I am going
Yeah,
to cast.
that would be like opening a door. Would be a free action.
I'm going to cast Shatter
Okay.
in a way that it's not going to damage me or Rihanna, but it will definitely hit her. The stupid woman thingy.
Okay.
No, wait, not Shatter. Thunderwave. Sorry.
All right. And what is the save there again?
It is a DC 18 con save.
Okay. Give me just a sec. Yeah, she'll make that even in her reduced form.
Okay, so that is 11 points of damage. No, 23. Half of 23, which I think is 11 or 12 or something.
Yeah, we're gonna go with 11.
11.
That's easy math for me,
Yeah.
and that sounds about right. Okay, so yeah, when your attack hits, it doesn't hit her so much as the swarm of tiny spiders. They are apparently acting as temporary health points for her.
And I give bardic inspiration once again to the warlock with the lightning.
Okay. Janja, make another death save. Okay, Janja, you stabilized. You're not conscious, but you're not bleeding out anymore. And Janja, I'm sorry that you've missed so much of this battle. That's the risk of being impulsive and running in.
You have much to
The theme of
learn, young
today is
Padawan.
reckless bravery.
Yeah. Okay. But the giant spider lady, less giant than she was, is still not happy with the one who just shrunk her down. Rihanna gets attacked again. The claw strike does hit. And let me properly bring this down a die. As I roll, you will take 10 points of slashing damage.
Uncanny dodge.
Okay. Oh, wait, you've already used that once this round. If it's a reaction, I think you only get it once per round, right? Double check and use your best judgment on that because, we've still got a lot to go.
It is a reaction, so.
Okay, only once per round then.
Okay, never mind.
Okay. And now that she's used her legendary action, and John just made his save, Ish, your lightning attack is automatic hit. Roll damage.
Yep.
And you have inspiration, so do that voodoo which you do so well.
I'm going.
Does it only do?
Before you tell me if it hits or not, I'm going to roll a d12 to add it to the attack.
Yes, do that. Do you not roll the full 5 or whatever?
No, it's just a d12.
Okay.
The initial is the 5d12.
Okay.
Consecutive, it's just.
Yeah, that sounds a little bit more fair to me, but again, I've never seen anyone use it at such a level. But still, 27 is very impressive.
That's the hit.
Oh, no, it's an automatic hit.
Oh, wait, sorry.
That was your damage.
Oh, yeah, right.
Because until the spell wears off.
It would just be. That's right. Sorry, I got confused. So it'd be 18 from the 10 from the inspiration and the 9 is for attack that I completely.
Okay. So.
Sorry.
All right.
New to this as well.
Okay. Yeah, you fry so many of those things.
Oh yeah, that's the idea.
Yeah. So she is like
you want
basically.
Well done or nicely baked?
Yeah, and she's again very annoyed, and she is going to, we're just going to know that this thing is here, these webs around, because she's going to bring in more spider clusters that are going to, she can make them right here. They're both going to attack the bard. One of them gets a natural 20. Let me bring up their actual sheet because the other one won't hit. So, where is their attack? You take 20 points of piercing damage as the spiders attack you, Michael.
Down on the ground.
Okay, Rihanna, it is your turn. She has turned to face Michael after swiping at you. So
Okay.
that
In
means
trouble.
Sneak attack.
yes, it is a sneak attack.
Did you say that taking a healing potion is a bonus action?
For you guys, yes.
Okay, well then I am going to pop open one of my superior healing potions and
Okay.
chug it. I forget how many that is.
I don't remember either. So someone look that up for her while she makes her attack.
I'm going to do that right now.
Right.
We need to finish this quick.
Okay. Yeah, with that attack, it certainly helps. So,
8d4 plus 8.
okay. Yeah, Rihanna cuts through a lot of her children, drawing even more spider blood, and takes 27 healing along the way. Let's see. That makes it her turn again, and in her reduced form, and Michael being down, she's going to go after Rihanna, and yeah, without all her bonuses, she actually misses. Rihanna, you're only going to get hit by one attack, and it is going to do 7 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
And with that, Michael, you need to make a death save. If that had been just a little higher, you would have been back in the fight.
I know. I would have been.
Aw.
Like, I am so. That would have just been like I rise to the grave and go, "You're dead."
Yeah, ish. Release the lightning, I assume.
First question: how do
Lighter
I see Rihanna?
I'm going to say
'Cause-
yes because she's smaller now. You can see Rihanna.
How is she physically? Like, is she like really, really beat up?
Rihanna, how do you
Because
look?
I'm looking a little bloody, yeah.
okay, because she's under the notion that this fight needs to end soon, like real
Yeah,
soon.
that would be a good indication.
Well, he saw me take a healing potion, so
Yeah. So you see some of the wounds start to fade away, but there's still plenty of them on her.
Ah, frick.
just end her.
This sucks. All right.
This is where I remind you that plot points are meant to bend reality to your will.
Yeah, I have 6, so I will do one last attack and use my last.
Are you going to?
Crap.
Witch Bolt is still in effect, as I understand it.
Yeah, it's up to a minute,
how-
so it's up to 1 minute.
As long as you
so
don't cast another spell to stop concentration, that's an
Yeah.
automatic
Right.
hit for you.
How do plot points work for as damage and things like that?
I'm a
Yeah.
little bit. Usually, I let you add them directly to an attack. If you tell me that you want to cash them all in to up the damage on your attack,
Mhm.
6 points. Basically, I'll make the roll on my end, and
Alright.
so you don't know exactly what's happening as I describe it to you. But you tell me how you see yourself employing these 6 plot points.
Alright. Yeah, I'm gonna use this last one.
Okay.
Sure. I'm going to release the witch bolt. I'm gonna keep my staff there, but instead of a purple glow coming from my staff, it's gonna be a sickly green, and I'm just gonna 5th level blight this bitch.
Okay.
And I'm going to use as many plot points as I can. So she needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. And go ahead and be rolling the damage.
Alright.
Okay. Now.
I did give inspiration before falling.
Oh, okay. So inspiration is still in effect. Add another d12 to that.
Alright, so that'd be a d12 and 1d8 for 5th level. I forgot about that one.
Okay. So now.
So in total, that'd be 43. That'd be 50 points of necrotic damage.
Okay.
Half if Jesus.
Now, in your mind, how do you see what is it that you're trying to when you use the plot points? Narratively, describe to me how you're applying this extra power to your attack.
All right. The way I see it is that while the ray of light hits her, but it actually starts branching out into this shell of little spiders and actually tries to diminish them first before going through the entry wound that Rihanna has been hacking through.
Okay, and is there like any extra flair you want to add to it? Like, do you call out anything? Do you call out to your patron for assistance?
Yeah, I just rush and say, for the love of Dendar and my friends, please just freaking die already.
You feel your patron slightly annoyed at the word love, but he does seem to approve of something dying. So, what should have been her last ability to resist this damage seems to get negated as your power actually seems to take on the shape of a serpent and it slithers around her, consuming her children in its necrotic energies. And she shrieks as she starts to crumble into dust. And the giant spider, guardian to an afterlife that you know nothing about, blows away in a non-existent breeze.
I blow at the top of my staff as if we're a gun another. And that is how we do things in my country.
Rihanna just is like leaning on her sword, going, "Thank God."
I know.
Thank
After that, it took a lot out of her. She's like just having like 2 seconds of Makimo, and then he's like, "Oh, haven't done that in a long time."
Okay, so I will go over to Jonja and check on him.
He's
breathing,
but he's clearly unconscious.
Unconscious. Okay, so Jonja, do you have healing potions on you?
I do not believe I do. Let me check.
Because I thought we bought a whole bunch and I gave everybody a couple.
I got none of that.
Sorry.
I will go to my.
Oh, you know what? Let's not worry about it. I've got 10 regular healing potions. That's enough to wake him up. So I'll use a regular healing potion on him.
Okay. So roll that, and
I forget what they are, you guys. This is terrible. I need I need like a guide.
Yeah, it's almost like you need a book that explains these things.
Okay. If I see Rihanna doing that, I'll ask her to for Michael.
All right.
What'd you say?
If you have a spare for Michael, that would be good. Because I don't have any.
Well, she just said she had 10 of them, so I'm gonna let you guys.
Yeah, I got it.
I'll let you guys sort that out because as you're pouring these potions into their mouths and maybe splashing some on the worst of their wounds, however it is you like to apply a potion, you hear a voice, and I'm going to say you all get
Okay,
to
so
hear
7 points for Jonja.
Okay.
All right.
Let me wait until you guys got this done so I can describe it properly.
Yep. And 2d4 plus
and
2.
8 for Michael.
Okay. The archway that the giant spider woman was protecting is clearly in view as you all hear in your native tongue. Sorry, I'm trying to remember how I phrased this. 3 questions answered. Three question. Yeah, three questions answered. Damn it! This is what happens after I take a month off, guys. I'm blaming you for this.
I hate when that
Yeah.
happens to me.
Here is three questions answered. Shoot. I thought I had it written down. I had something else written down. Three questions answered. Tarry no longer, or your fate will be hastened. And the doorway behind you creaks open, and you are now the cobwebs are gone. You are now just standing in the bones and the remains of others who have attempted to achieve what you have done. Oh no! Now I find it. Let me give you what was actually said because I like the way I wrote it better. Three questions asked, three answers given. Try to take more, or your fate will be quickened.
Chief, and I look at Michael. You got the first one.
Out of character. What were we looking for here? Sorry, guys.
You
I have
came
really
here to
bad
speak
memory.
to a sphinx that serves a death god, and I will be clear that the idea here is that you need to go into the next room to speak to it. So what you do here is fine, but once you enter that room, whatever you say is going to be in character unless you specify first you're speaking out of character. So you can take your time in here, heal up, play bongos on the skulls, I don't care. But once you step through that door, everything said is in character.
We need to.
Okay.
We need to know. Michael's just kind of sitting there. Before we go through that door, we need to know what three questions we want answered.
Yeah.
Right. And we need to have everybody
On the
back
same
to
page.
full health.
I had an image saved for bongo.
Well,
The weird bongos.
we were going to ask about Donovan.
Yes. What methodology? Where exactly he is? What methodology he's using?
Michael, could you turn your volume up just a little bit? Because you're getting a little bit lower again. Okay. So, yeah, you got a lot of things you were curious about, to be honest. So, I'm going to let you, but of course, you can decide how exactly what questions you want to ask because, again, you all had a lot you were curious about.
Well, I think our main things were we were trying to figure out. Well, like you said, that guy we're looking for, whoever that is. But we also wasn't the whole reason why Trevor wanted to come here is because he wanted to figure out what he had to do to be able to reverse Char's curse.
You were also looking for your son. I mean, you can ask the question on behalf of Trevor, but like I said, you're not restrained to any one topic.
Yeah,
Right.
so that's the problem. We have
John
too
Joe,
many
were you
things to
actually
do.
playing bongos on the skulls? Because you said you had an image for that.
I sent it.
I can't. I don't have everything open, so I just wondered if that was actually something you were doing.
No, I just.
Okay, I
funny
saw the
image.
picture now. It's like because yeah, there's lots of stuff scattered around you, and you're weird. Maybe you start doing that.
Yeah, well, I see bones. That means there's gear, right? So
Yeah.
can we look for anything useful, valuable, blah blah blah?
Sure. Make a quick check. Just to see what you find. Okay. Let me see what all.
Jonja also, I don't know.
Yeah.
But he can.
With I'm going to say that with your rolls, you'll start uncovering a lot of stuff. Quite a bit if you want to like go through all the gold and coins and everything. You find 28,000 in platinum pieces.
Huh.
Then you find 40,000 in gold pieces. And you know, let me just send you some of
Aren't
these.
y'all happy that I'm a greedy little shit right now?
I'm going to send you some of these things in chat because that'll be easier. Yeah, this was a big fight, and you get the appropriate reward for a big fight. This is the first bit of loot. After this, there's mundane weapons and armor, and Rihanna, because you did a really good investigation roll, and you were the one who started it. I'm going to say that along the way you come across uh, a wooden sword that has a magical radiance about it.
Interesting.
Do you want to pick it up?
Sure, what the hell?
Okay. As you pick it up, you hear the voice inside your head saying, "Congratulations, warrior. You have found me. You may now wield my unlimited power."
Say what?
I am the greatest weapon that exists on this plane, and you are the one who is worthy to wield me. Let us go forth and do great things.
I kind of turn it over, looking. I'm like, it's wood. In my head, I'm thinking it's wood. What the hell?
Yeah, it means that it's light enough to be a finesse weapon.
Oh, but it's wood. How
Yeah.
much damage could it possibly do?
He's like, "I'm magic, you idiot. I can do anything. I am
No
indestructible."
need for name calling, you piece of.
Hey, you are the one disrespecting me, Chad, the invulnerable sword.
Okay, do I hear her and do I hear the sword?
You don't hear the sword. You just hear her.
Okay, I'm just giving her the look like I just think she snapped.
I look at Rihanna and I look at the sword and I look at Rihanna and I go, "Is the sword talking inside of your head?"
Oh, you guys aren't hearing this?
No.
Do you want them to hear me?
Can swords do that?
Yeah, they can. They can actually be imbued with sentience.
He says his name is Chad.
Chad the invulnerable. Get it right.
Chad the Invulnerable, the greatest sword that's ever existed. Something I don't know.
What does Chad do when you bond with him?
It looks more like Chad the Vulnerable. I mean, it's wood. What can wood do?
It's a magic sword. Seriously, we deal in a world of unlimited magical potential.
He gets it.
Where I can take a copper rod and send a message all the way across multiple planes, and you're looking at a wooden sword that can talk to Rihanna's brain and going, "What can it do? Probably it can shatter entire dimensions, knowing our luck."
All right, so I'll take Chad and I'll just kind of do a few swings and kind of
Okay.
see how it feels. And
He's very well balanced, and like I said, for you it operates as a finesse weapon.
all right, Chad. All right, we'll be friends.
You will not regret this, great warrior.
Okay.
And here's a few of the other things you found, because I rolled up a lot of stuff, and then what I just sent you was the easy to describe stuff.
I do have. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
About the gems. Are any of them rubies?
Sure. How many did I say there was? 10?
So there were 10 gems worth 1,000 gold pieces each.
Okay. We will say that 3 of those are rubies.
Essentially, when I find all this stuff, I will just say, I know that some of you guys' spells require gems. If there's anything that's useful for spell requirements, take them.
I pick up the rubies. I'm like, this could probably save our asses today. So, if you don't mind, I could
take them. I mean, I'm not gonna keep all this stuff. I just found it all, and I'm like,
yeah,
whatever.
This was everybody like piling up the stuff together. So, I'm just trying to make it simple.
So Andy, so I'm reading what you typed here, and I'm trying to figure out if I'm just misunderstanding something here, but it says 8th level spell times 3.
Oh,
So you're
those
saying
were
that 3 spells, one is horrible wilting, one is anti-magic field, and one is clone?
yes.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
obviously those don't work for me, so I don't know who can use those.
I don't imagine any of you can. Or maybe the 8th level. You might have, but I know the 9th level is beyond you right now.
I can actually use the 8th levels.
Okay.
Because I have
all use
Cool, take 'em.
Okay. Along the way, guys, you also find like some notes that from various adventurers, like some journals and maps. If anybody wants to take a quick look through any of those.
I will.
Okay. Just real fast, based on your basic investigation there. One of them mentions a mind flayer ship that had crashed hundreds of years ago. It looks like that was on their list of things to find. Let's see. You find a jar of fleas. It looks like these fleas have been magically suspended, and I'm going to just send you that now. All right, it's in chat. It's just a fun little thing. There is a field manual for shield training. The front of the tat in the book, it says it's slightly more complicated than holding this in front of your face, but only a little bit. And if you spend a short rest reading this, you can use a shield at half its effective protection rating for the next 24 hours.
I'll hand that over to Rihanna as well.
Okay. I'm gonna keep.
Shield?
I'm gonna
shield
put that
training
into
manual?
chat too. Yeah. It'll only
I
work
can't
for.
use shields.
Well, that's the thing. If you read this manual over a short break, you can use it for 24 hours at half of its rating. It's just a fun little magic item I threw in.
Oh, okay. I was confused.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm going to try and include. I'm not going to read all these off fully, but there's also the field manual of arts appraisal. Impress everyone at the gallery opening with your knowledge of color palettes.
Oh, that's totally me because then I'll know what's worth more and I can steal the good stuff.
Yeah, this one. Oh, don't fully read that. I need to edit out part. Because.
I look to Rihanna and say, if you're not gonna use that shield manual, I could find some use for it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Again, field manuals are temporary bonuses, but they're fun little things.
Question, Andy?
Yeah.
It says arrow of slaying / fiend. What is that?
It is an arrow of slaying that will deal additional damage to a fiend.
Anybody mind being so I do the whole bow and arrow thing?
Nope, I got no bows.
And lastly, there is a potion of animal speech.
I put that inside of my bag and just it goes. I don't think we're ever going to actually use this because points to Janja.
I said animal speech,
Yeah.
not tongues. Janja can't talk to animals.
Yeah. That.
I'm a thing.
And as you know, those notes you were flipping through from the adventurer, like I said, there was the Nautiloid ship, a reference to Nether Scrolls, and yeah, you can go through those more a little later on.
Okay. Yeah, if you want to, just send me a message with the information on that arrow slaying.
Yeah, we'll have to just look up. It's a magic item under the book.
Okay.
We'll just have to find it.
Oh, no, that's fine.
Yeah,
I mean, I
any
didn't know.
arrow of slaying has a type it deals extra damage.
Oh, okay. So I didn't know if that was a homebrew thing or if it was
No,
something.
it's
Perfect.
a standard
I got
from the
it then.
book. But let me know. And like anything, I try to keep these notes somewhere I can find them. So when you use them, let me know. And
George.
like I said, you have all those random adventuring notes. Let me know if you go through them more when you have more time. But
With
there,
respect to the sorry.
but now there is a sphinx waiting for you.
We need to know what kind of questions we're gonna ask.
Sorry, John, I cannot hear you.
We need to figure out what questions we're gonna ask.
Oh, yeah.
Well, at least one pertaining to Donovan, either where he is, be that plane or specific place, or at least how he's going to create a second hell. That could be probably the most important one. I personally have nothing, at least of value or immediate value, to ask him right now.
Again, you want to know, and the only reason I'm asking is because it's been a month since we talked about any of this. You had questions about getting out of your pact?
Yeah, but it's he's a he's he doesn't really see it as an immediate thing that he needs to
Okay.
do right now.
Nope, that's fine.
I say
Yeah, there's all
I say that one question that we have for the Sphinx is we ask her where Donovan is, and as part of the question, we give an exact meaning of which Donovan we are talking about in this, in regards to it being the Donovan of that's stealing souls to make his own version of hell. Donavar, sorry, the Donavar who's stealing souls in order to make his own version of hell.
I'm not going to try to pull a fast one on you. I will not ask you to over elaborate your questions.
No, that's fine.
You fought hard for this. I'm not going to trick you unless you break the rules that have already been explained to you.
another question could be about Rihanna's family as well, specifically where they are.
I have leads on where Rihanna's son could be. We just need transport to be able to start searching for
Yeah,
it.
I was gonna say I don't feel like that is a question that we need to use on the Sphinx. I think that finding this person that you guys are talking about and then possibly trying to help Trevor are the two I think
Right.
that we need the most help with.
Yeah, I was about to ask. I knew Trevor had something that he wanted to ask as well.
I am always happy to offer a suggestion if you guys want to hear it.
Yes, please.
Uh, you could always ask about a friend from your past, like Malik. You could ask anything. I mean, obviously, you can ask about anything, but I have certain ones that I was sort of preparing, which includes, whose temple this is, or, anyone that you might have recently been trying to pull a fast one on. Like Otto. Odo.
No.
Now, I was
That's
gonna,
good.
like, maybe we can phrase it, where are our enemies? I can't speak. Where are our enemies near us?
Right.
No.
That's kind of vague because we have a lot of enemies.
Yeah, I would have made
Yeah.
you do an intelligence or wisdom check before you asked that question.
No. I'm specifically I'm thinking we just ask about Donavar, where he is, what we can do to stop him directly. What's the most direct route we can do to stop him? And then
At least
Trevor.
there was one.
I think if we do stop him though, it's going to help him with regards to his stuff with that god, because it was his prophet that pointed out to us. It was that god's cleric that pointed out to us, speaking with.
By doing something like this, you would be doing a favor to every god of light, and then they would be more inclined to exert their own pressures, political pressure, to get her to back off of a single mortal who had done them all a favor.
A possible third question would also be the elemental, to see if there's a way to imprison them, or is there something we can do to at least call their effects? That's a possible third as well.
I think we might have a way of doing that with that 9th level spell.
That's true.
With that 9th level spell scroll, we do have a way of doing it. If we can get, I say we just ask all the questions about Donavar. That way we get all of this sorted quickly. We ask 2 questions about Donavar, and then we ask about Malik to figure out what's going on with Malik, because we do sort of owe Malik for that.
That's true.
You know what? Hey, sorry. I know that I'm being a bad DM now, but I'm going to say that the information I have to offer about Donavar, considering his power level, he's not just like a one-stop fight. Asking a single question is going to get you about as much information as is available for him.
Well,
I'm just trying to help you guys out because, like I said, you could ask a dozen questions and he's not exactly just hanging out at one spot. His plans are huge and complex. So it's not something where you can ask 5 questions and there's multiple ways to stop him. So asking how do we stop him, the simple answer would be kill him. So I just don't want you walking into a trap of, a logic trap of saying, well, we'll just ask where we go to stop him, and then we go and we do that thing. One thing isn't going to stop him. Unless that one thing is send him back to hell, where Asmodeus will be able to punish him properly.
You have a question?
Yeah, I was trying to remember for the life of me who this person was that we were looking for, because I didn't take any notes the last time because I think I had a horrible headache. So, is this
Donavar is a devil who is apparently making plans to carve out his own hell. He's tired of serving in hell. He wants to rule in hell. And the gods don't like that.
Devils are fiends, yes?
Yes.
Good. I've got the Zero slaying, guys. All I gotta do is find him, I shoot him, he dies. We're good.
Go ahead and look up what an arrow of slaying does and then get back to me.
I did.
That. Oh, okay. I mean, I know it's extremely powerful, but I forget how powerful.
The person that you shoot it at, or the creature you shoot it at, has to make a DC 17 Constitution save.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I honestly forget how powerful those things were. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Find them, shoot them, problem solved. Okay.
So
I'm just going to recommend that you ask one question about one topic because.
Let's ask where Donovan is currently and what all of his machinations are.
We would have one left after.
That would still not kill somebody.
I know. I was being facetious.
I know. Sorry. But yeah. Let's figure out what we can about Donavar. I suggest asking where he is, what we can do to stop.
And that's what I'm trying to say is that's being a little bit overly complicated because, if you just ask, what are all of his plans, this thing isn't an omnipotent being. So scale back your planning just a little bit, He's going to give you some information when you just ask about Donavar. But he can't okay, here's everywhere he has a temple, go destroy them all. That's not the answer you're going to get.
No,
and I don't want you to waste a question when there's something more.
My second question was going to be, what is his closest plan to us currently that we can actually...
And that's going to be the hint that you get when you first ask the question. That's what I'm saying is don't, keep it simple. Because I'm really trying to reward you guys, but I'm trying to do it in a fun way. Which means that I'm not going to hand you a novel.
No.
Right. Like I agree with Michael. I was thinking what we need to find out is where is the nearest place that he's got some sort of plans in action
And
that we can try and mess up.
and that information is provided in the answer I anticipated.
All
I
right.
don't know, guys. What do you want to do?
So one question for Donovar, one question for Malik, one question for Shar.
I think with Shar, Shar, we can just by dealing with Donovar, I think we've got that one solved.
Okay.
Everyone with respect to the elementals. I'm a little if that.
I mean,
One of our is going to be even more.
Are you talking about the Titans?
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay, yeah. One question about Donovar, one question about the Titans, and one question about Malik. Or what
were we wanting with Malik? I'm sorry. Other than the fact that he's like an old friend of mine and etc. etc.
I was just saying that you could always ask questions about people from your past, because I tried to. This thing has a way of answering, and I'm trying to anticipate as many of those questions as I could. And that means that you don't get straightforward answers. You get something that will hopefully lead you in the right direction.
And also, what about Otto, however you want to pronounce it?
Yeah, that was up to you. That he's your guy.
Yeah, I know everybody else has their questions, but
I thought we dealt with your guy by giving over the.
So we don't know if he'll believe. Like.
Well, we'll find out when he hunts you down. If he does.
Yeah. If he decides to hunt you down, then yeah, it failed. If he doesn't, then hey.
Yeah.
I mean, so long as you're with the group and we find out through that, it's one of the things that once you kind of set that thing up in motion, and you've handed that bit over, using a question like this on that is kind of a bit. Yeah, it's like using a cannon to shoot at a fly.
Which is why I said we didn't need to ask any questions about Rihanna's family, because I feel like that's something that we can get to.
Okay, so what's one question about Donovar, one question about the Titans. What's the other massive storyline that we currently have right now?
Those are the two massive storylines. Everything else was more personal.
Yeah, because I was gonna say because I mean the Shar thing is the only thing that's like a really big personal thing.
And that's sort of tied into what we're doing with Donovar, because that got pointed out to us by Shar's cleric to speak with Korax about.
Yeah.
Because Trevor actually asked her, well, how can I correct what's going on here, and she pointed.
Yeah, I always also pointed it out.
Okay, I guess I didn't know that.
I think it's not your fault. I think Danny had also forgotten that the entire Donovar storyline got pointed out by the Shar cleric as well.
Well, this was another opportunity to work on that. Like I said, you took this at the behest of the Elven shop artifact shop, because she said, "Hey, if you survive, I'll buy whatever you bring back," and she just wasn't willing to go here herself. And you all kind of jumped on the opportunity to get information.
Right.
That was really your main thing. It's like, oh, something that'll answer our questions. Okay, we'll go there.
I don't know, guys. I honestly don't know what we should do third question for. I feel like it should be something really important.
Shall we stick with the Shar question then? Because I'd say bring it one more on to Donavar, um, just to set up the next target on his plans. So what's the closest one, and following on from that, what's the next closest one?
Okay.
And that's what I'm going to say one more time is, I would prefer one question per topic because,
Okay.
again, I try to word these very carefully for a reason. And that's why I was saying, like, Char, Malik, Odo, these were some of the ones that I had thought of in my head. And I'm trying to write up something for Titans now because only one of you ever gave a damn about the Titans, apparently, and I didn't prep a good rhyming scheme.
Well, your lack of planning is not our fault, Andy.
Yeah, well, if you guys
we
can
can
actually
ask
show
any
up.
we can ask any question we want.
Like, what's the flight speed of a
Okay, you know what? We're not going to get into this because we're burning daylight here. So figure things out, guys. Because
Okay.
that door will start to shut if you take 3 hours.
The last question, but that's getting close to it. But yeah, do the sharp thing. I think that's probably part of the effort.
I'm sorry, you were so broken up. I couldn't hear anything that you said.
I guess the question we leave it to sharp. Their best bet.
Okay, I tell you what. I vote that I vote for just letting Michael ask the questions.
Oh yeah, I'm you.
What's that?
Yeah, Nick, we can just barely hear you. I heard something about asking about Shar.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you guys can hear me well.
Yeah,
I'm just
or flip a coin because we've been at this one for a little while.
Donovar, Titans, Shark.
Yeah. Let's
Okay.
keep it that way.
All right, and we'll just, like I said, just have one person ask the questions. The rest of us keep our mouths shut and just be there.
All right. So Michael will start heading towards the door, gathering everybody up to go through.
Okay. And
good.
the creature that's sitting there on a pedestal looks more like a vulture than any sphinx you've ever seen before. And the icon is just the only thing I could find that even remotely resembled the image I had. But I like them.
Out of character, this is like one of the more bestial forms of a sphinx, isn't it?
Well, most sphinx are like part bird and part lion. I guess is the most common. This one is part vulture and part jackal. Or yeah, jackal would be the best description.
Yep.
I don't know if I can actually send you the picture from the book. Let me. No, not without having to go through some effort. So yeah, it's got like a vulture head on a jackal's body with wings.
We come searching information about the machinations of Donavar in regards to his closest plot that we can dismantle.
Order from chaos requires power, gathering souls by the hour, buying from those quick to sell, trapping others where the frozen workers dwell.
We wish to know a way of ending the threat of the Titans.
Eternal power that shapes the plane, destroying those that oppose their wills. Return to their realm or recreate it. Serve or death, Either results in pain.
Our brother in arms has been cursed by Shar, and we wish to know a way to end it.
Petty gods, like their vengeance, torture mortals that cause them hindrance. Only to others do they answer when greater powers apply some pressure. And with that final answer given, it sets back and slowly starts to turn to stone.
Alright, and I just start to leave, grabbing everybody else.
Oh, I hope somebody wrote all that down because I didn't catch it all. I tried.
This is bad.
And you are reasonably able to make your way back out because the traps are less occupied. And I'm just going back over to the first layer. You still have to, navigate the walkways or fly across them if you have that ability, but you were able to make it once, so I won't, make you do the whole re-walking bit.
Yeah, let's just fly.
Yeah.
And then you come back out to the village where the handful of the returned are still just going about their empty lives.
I'll give one of them a hug as I pass by.
It
I'm gonna keep
seems
an eye
to
on Brianna to make sure.
recoil when you attempt to hug it.
What'd you say, Nick?
I'm gonna keep an eye on Rhea to make sure whacking more of these.
Well, why not? The masks are gold. They're worth something. Jeez, guys.
Yeah, I kind of want to get more gold. Even though we have 28 platinum.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw it earlier or not, Katie, but I had done the math of how much the split was on at least the money for the four of us.
No, I did not. Sorry.
It's in the chat if you want to scroll up.
7,000 platinum pieces and 10,000 gold pieces apiece.
I was very rich.
7,000.
7,000 platinum pieces and 10,000 gold pieces.
And like I said, that challenge was intended to have at least one more party member, so you guys did pretty well.
Do we want to, like, I don't know.
Beat a whole bunch of things back to undeath with your new magical sword?
No. Oh, I forgot about that.
Chad's like, yes, test my might. Show them who the greatest is.
Is his only in Rena's head?
Yes, I am the only one that can hear.
This is a telepathic thing. You'd have to be holding him in order to hear him.
Okay, so
What I was gonna say is, do we want to do like Michael's mansion thing and like take a long rest before we try to go anywhere, so everybody's healed up and has all their spells and such?
do it. If not,
Let's do that.
That would be the first
I can try and decode the the poem poem for the first question as best I can, given the information at hand that we have, and look through any of the adventurers' journals as well, see if there's any information in there that can correspond to frozen workers.
Yeah. The novice my player.
I did not hear any of that. If anybody made it out better, please let me know what he's saying.
No, video's frozen and it's like fragmented machine sounding voice.
Goodbye.
Okay, so you're going to cast the mansion, and for the riddles, I'll let you make some intelligence checks or history checks. Okay, which of the riddles were you wanting to work on?
The first one.
Okay, you remember that to the north of the country of Wildom, there was a frozen wasteland of a country where they regularly used necromancy to uh, bring their dead back as skeletal workers because it was almost impossible to farm the land otherwise.
I think I know exactly our next place to go. North of Wildom, there was a country, probably still exists because, things like this can potentially survive anything. It's on the frozen continent there, and necromancy to keep skeletal workers continuously farming the fields. That way they can have enough food to survive.
Okay, that makes sense. But with the world shattering like it did and everything being moved around, are we going to easily be able to locate this place?
The only thing that's really been moved around as much as possible has been the island that Wildom itself is on. So the rest of the continents doesn't appear to change much, so we'll head up there.
Okay.
All right, let me find some of my notes about the Mind Flayer ship. Let's see. Yeah, you have. It's basically they had some notes about like where historical records say it might have been. It would still take actual work to find it, but they kind of think that it might have crashed in what is now a mountain range. Now, of course, again, going back to parts of the world had been reshaped more than what Michael thinks they have been. That might still prove a challenge, but it's something that you could actually spend effort looking for.
Shall we find the Mind Flayer ship? That way we have transport around and a place to, do
And
stuff.
going through
Yeah.
some of these other notes, like I said, there was they have a reference to something that was known as the Nether Scroll. Uh, there's a reference to they were hired by a wizard named Vic to look for something called the Heart of Mud. Something something something, God killing dagger. Uh, oh, it was dated about 100 years from now, but maybe that's just a smudge on the paper. And
When were they hired by the wizard Vic?
it looks like it was about 100 years from now. And yeah, there is something about the stream of time.
Okay, I don't like the way this sounds at all, Michael.
Yeah, these notes, by the way, are not exactly in a great order. Maybe that was because whoever was carrying them, you know, wasn't wasn't a clerk. or maybe it had to do with dying at the mandibles of a giant spider and being left to rot until he was just bone.
If I try to put this journal back together fully, would I notice that the dates aren't in a chronological order? They're just more like when he wrote them down.
Yeah, this is more about when things were written down. Like there was, okay, this wizard named Vic sent us on one job. Then he's got the notes about the nautiloid ship because that was something that apparently his group was looking for. Like I said, a dagger that can kill gods is under the Vic wizard, and so this is a wish list of things a heroic adventurer wanted to accomplish, and the things that he was being paid to do along the way.
Are all of his
These
are
don't
they
come
all
from just one person. These were several different peoples.
okay? No.
Oh, also, you found a hammer that has the inscription on it, made by Simpkins.
Simpkins, you lovely, lovely man. I checked to see what the hammer actually does.
Okay, you're by taking a moment to kind of work with it, and based on the rules I found about being able to identify stuff, if you spend about an hour, you think you can activate it.
All right, I activate it.
Okay, and suddenly a bunch of skeletons seem to crawl up out of the ground. Hey, boss.
You guys are back. We gave this to somebody.
Oh yeah, you didn't use it, so we went somewhere else. How you been?
We've been good.
Do you have
What
any work for
happened?
us?
I'm thinking on that. I just wanted to see what the hammer actually did. I didn't realize that it was you guys. I'm very sorry for waking you up when I didn't need you to do something. I'll be putting you back. And then when I actually do get you together, you're gonna have something great to do.
Okay, and then they all just vanish.
I look at the hammer. Has the hammer aged at all since we last gave it over to the Lich in order to rebuild his entire thing?
No, because it wasn't that long ago, really, and magical items don't age very much.
That's true. All right, I'll put this inside of my bag of holding, and I'll just be like, "How the hell did this end up all the way over here?"
One of the skeletons comes back out and says, when you don't use the hammer, we get bored and then the hammer goes somewhere else. It's the nature of the hammer. And then he goes back into the hammer.
We need to find stuff for these guys to do. That way they don't wander off again like that. I believe that this temple sits outside of time and space as we know it. When you go inside. That's the only reason why we would have a date that's 100 years in the future.
Oh, I think you're right.
But as far as other vague references, that would be things that you can use as a jump start for more research. Because, again, you don't know how long some of these papers have been here. And based on some of the writing, you don't know exactly how well people were taking notes at the time. It's sort of like adventurers don't always care about the actual point of where they're going. They just want to go. And then they don't write down important things along the way. And then they forget why they're there.
Are you saying that adventurers are very much like the players who play them?
Exactly.
This makes sense.
Why do you think that there was a
I feel
trap?
attacked by that comment.
Why do you think there was a whole trap that was just dedicated around take the shiny thing?
Because I'm a rogue.
No, because you're a rogue who tries to take shiny things.
Ever since I was live off the streets wrestling alley bears for food.
Did you just say alley bears? Because I'm putting that in. I don't know where alley bears are hanging out, but damn it, I want to see that town. So, Jonja, you get a plot point for inspiring
Yay!
me.
I was just making a reference. Yay!
That's how you get plot points. You entertain me.
That was the easiest thing I've ever done.
Well, if that's the case, then I should have like 1 billion plot points because everything I do makes you roll your eyes, smack your head, or laugh.
Yeah, you only get the points when you entertain me, though. Doing stupid things isn't always entertaining. That's, oh god.
Yeah, otherwise I'd have over 1,000 because every single moment there's been something that I've done that's made everybody just go.
It's your point.
But yeah, no.
Okay. So, but you're able to take your long rest, and in the morning you can, well, you've got a choice of where you go from here.
Can you hear me or?
Just barely, man. Your video isn't even moving. You might want to try turning the video
Alright.
off, see if that doesn't give you some extra space.
It's just familiar. Should have been a nocturnal, a giant nocturnal glowing toad named Gravel Jean. Don't steal.
Okay.
No.
Like Gravel
Is
Jean.
it better?
Oh,
It's a
don't
little
steal.
bit better, but yeah, now I can't hear you at all. If you need to reset anything, this would be a good time because you're not too likely to die in the next 5 minutes.
Yeah, sadly, I need to I need to pull out right now for tonight's session because I've got work tomorrow morning, unfortunately. So,
Yeah, same.
Okay.
yeah.
All right, so we'll wrap up here. I'll send you guys any extra notes that you need to know about anything. And we'll hopefully be back in 2 weeks, and hopefully in 1 week we'll be starting up Kyle's new Vampire the Requiem game. So join us for that.
Ooh.
Take care, everybody.
Yep,
Yeah.
thanks.